So I'm honestly just going to start out with, I would say the most important thing if you want to be successful at making music. And I think it's just putting out as much content as possible. And what that means is just making a song, believing in it, liking it, I don't really believe in singles. I think that's something I think that's for bigger artists. I think singles are something that just don't serve a purpose when you're a small artist, because it makes sense when you're a big artist because you can put a single out, it can go on a playlist on Spotify or Apple Music, and then it can get people a hit, because then you can run up the views on that song. And it can get people to know you because you can have that one hit that's on all the big playlists, and then, it'll just filter over. But when you're a small artist, I don't really see the point to it, because the problem with a single is it's one song. So it's not a project that someone's going to download and listen to a bunch of times. It's something that you're going to listen to a couple of times, and then you may or may not put it in a playlist, but odds are it's going to get lost. Versus if you have a project, it has a story, it has a lot of songs, it's going to be downloaded and listened to for a while. So I definitely believe in project heavy, and specifically I would say definitely mixtapes when you're up and coming, because really there's really not a huge, in my opinion, there's not a huge point in putting out an album when you're small, because in my opinion the whole point of an album is you're going to put that out when you're bigger, and then you're going to have a label push, or you're going to put a lot of money into it, and it's going to be for profit. But when you're small, you're really not making a ton of money on streaming, so there's just really no point in doing that. I think you should just be mixtape heavy. And when I say mixtape heavy, I think you should be putting out a lot of mixtapes. I would say on average one every few months, depending on your work ethic. If you work full time and you don't have time to make a lot of music, but I would say just every time you have 5 really good songs, I think you should put out a project, put out 5 or so songs. And I think that's the way to go. That's your ticket, is projects and just putting out a lot of music. There's no reason to sit on music. I just don't get it. If you have a hit, the only reason and even when, I understand big artists, why they do that, but understand what level you're at. Big artists, the labels force them to sit on certain music because they just have a strategy, and that works for them at that level, But when you're small, the whole point is to get heard, so you need to just put out what you have, because if you're still not where you want to be, why would you sit on music? You're just prolonging you not being successful. So you have to get that going. You need to be putting a lot of mixtapes out. Avoid singles. Don't worry about an album. There's not really a point to doing that. Don't go too crazy with how many songs you put on a project. I say 5 for a mixtape, but of course you can do more. I would say definitely don't do less than 5. It just is silly. Don't put 3 songs on a project. It's not a project. Just put at least 5. I wouldn't really go more than 10 if it's just a mixtape, but it just depends. And another big thing is a video for every song. It's not crazy. You really should be doing that. Everything I'm saying is just things that are just mandatory, and they're really not that hard. I understand if you don't have the money to pay someone to shoot a video, and you can only shoot a couple or something. But for every song you should have a music video, because I can think of so many artists that I've found out based on watching a music video of theirs. Because it's harder to find. Now at the same time, it's all of you guys should be on streaming. There's no excuse for that. The only excuse is if you're using songs that are copywritten that you can't put on there. But you should have all of your available music on streaming. Like, if you can make any money, like, why would you not? You know, like, SoundCloud is not what it used to be. People aren't blowing up on SoundCloud the same way they were before. It's just not the same thing it was. Just get away from SoundCloud. Like, you could still put your music on there, but don't focus on it. But back to what I was saying, like, with the video thing, people are not finding you on streaming. Like, you're not going to be found on streaming as much as you're going to be found on YouTube. Someone's watching a video and then yours is related. They're going to find you that way. Like, you're not going to find someone necessarily on streaming. So yes, you can use Instagram, you can use social media, but I really believe, like, YouTube music videos are huge. Like, that's, like, just mandatory. So the big things we cover so far, like mixtapes. Every time that you feel like you have enough songs, put it out on a mixtape. Videos, like music videos for every single song you got, are huge. We can get into social media. Like, I think Instagram is important. I think Twitter can be important, but Twitter just isn't the same animal. Just not as many people on Twitter. It just doesn't seem to really do as much as it could. Instagram is huge, though. But then at the same time, I think it is huge, but I think it's not the biggest focus anymore. Like, I don't think Instagram is your ticket anymore. And I think at one point it was. But I think music videos are huge again. Cole Bennett really brought back music videos. And the mixtapes. Like, get yourself mixtapes. You know, and I just think the big thing is, like, pushing content and putting out all of your stuff. And my thing is, like, if you have a song where you're like, oh, I'm not going to put this out, I ask you, like, why? Like, what is it? Like, can you make it? Are there, like, parts you don't like? If it's because you feel like you have better stuff now, then you just waited too long to put out that song. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. So that's really big. Like, content is huge. TikTok, I mean, I don't really know if that's going to help you too much if you're an artist. Like, it'll help if, like, other people play your music, but I don't really think it's going to help you just as an artist. But really, like, I just think pushing content, like, that's really huge. You need to be doing that, and you need to be putting stuff out. Like, I still know artists that have these killer songs that they send me, but then, like, I cannot find them on streaming. They have very little music videos. I mean, it's like, it's just, and it's not even like, this is not even hard stuff. Like, you guys have the songs, you know, and it's like, you can get together some money to at least do a little bit of music videos. Like, this is just not, it's not even like crazy stuff. It's just like, you just need to do it. You know, this is like, and this is going to help you so much. Like, content is going to help you so much. If everyone puts like 5 music videos out versus 1, definitely more views, definitely more traffic. Like, because the thing is, like, people always want more. Like, okay, you put 1 music video out, okay, cool. Like, you could run it up for like a week. But then guess what? People are going to get bored of it, like with anything. It could be the best song ever, but somebody's going to get bored of it. Then they're going to be like, oh, I want to hear more from this artist. If you have 1 music video, like, how's that going to help you? You know, you need more. Like, so you just need to, like, more content. Like, I know you guys make songs. Like, you make a ton of songs. Put them out. Get videos for them. Like, everything. Do that, you know? So, I mean, it's just, for me, it's common sense, but, like, I just don't see it happening enough. And I'm not at all saying, like, you're going to do this and then you're just going to be a star, but, like, you have to at least do those things to even get close. So, you know, I think that the topic of this video is really just content, you know, making it, but more so a lot of you guys already have the music, so now it's getting videos and it's putting out mixtapes, and I think that's your ticket.